Cheetos or like Doritos. I don't know why I'm thinking of all those Cheetos, Doritos. If you're eating 100%, 95% whole foods most of your like week, that's what your diet is. And I think it's a lot easier to intuitively eat versus if you have chocolate cake sitting on your counter every single night. Like, I'm gonna eat that chocolate cake sitting on my counter. Sometimes, like, there's probably some people listening to this podcast who are like, well, I live with a bunch of people in my house and like there's food, there. And so what do I do in that situation? And so that is where I think, really kind of diving deep into, maybe if you've never tracked before, maybe you do start to pay attention more to that, or maybe you start to have the conversation with the people you live with who are like, all right, at least put it out of sight, out of mind. So like, I don't know where it is, or it's not staring me in the face or whatever. That's something that everybody has those different situations. And those are things that you have to realistically work through and really have that conversation, whether it's with your significant other or if you're, buying certain foods for your kids and you're like, oh, well, like my kids can have it because they're young and they're running around and stuff like that. But like when it's in the house or when I'm preparing it for them, like I take that lick, nibble, and bite, and then those add up over the course of the day. And then when they're asleep at night and it's 11 o'clock and I'm having those nighttime cravings, I go to the cabinet and have, some of the kids, whatever, chips and whatever. That is a conversation and something that you have to really start to be aware of. And like, okay, maybe you stop buying those foods for your kids and you swap things out and realize that like those hyperpalatable foods, even though they're kids and they're running around and that's fine. Maybe it's something that's a treat or a once in a while thing. Maybe it's not something that's in your environment every single day, right? The other thing is you were talking about kind of what I like to call the scarcity mindset. This is something that I struggled with for a while. Like years ago when I would, be super on point and then I would go to an event and there'd be like a buffet, or I'd go to like a friend's house for dinner and there'd be a bunch of desserts and things like that. And I'd have that scarcity mindset. I was like, oh man, like I never have this. So like, I'm going to eat all the cookies. I'm going to eat all this and all that. I'm going to get like 5 plates at the buffet because I have that mindset. Like this is the only time it's going to be here. And so that for me, the thing that got me past that, and I will say like, sometimes I definitely revert and like there's, during the holidays, all that jazz, but the awareness piece of that and the mindset and really, really working on the mindset side of things and like doing meditation and shit that like I would never have done in the past, that helped me to become so much more aware of that. And then thinking through that, like, okay, I'm going to this buffet. This food is here. I could literally go and buy this any day of the week that I wanted to at the grocery store. Like I can go buy a box of cookies whenever I want. I don't need to eat the whole box or plate of cookies at this buffet. And so switching that scarcity mindset to like the abundance mindset and like, okay, I can have this whenever I want. Then it's like, it flipped that switch for me. It was like, I'm not going to go eat this thing of cookies because I know I'm going to feel like shit afterwards from both a physical and a mental standpoint. So that is where putting the work in for the mindset and the personal, I was going to say personal development, but like the mindset side of things and the awareness side of things, that might be the place where you need to start working on versus focusing on macros. Like start focusing on where your mind's at. Start focusing on your awareness, because then that's going to build the good habits and build, that, or take you away from that scarcity mindset.